Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be bringing back my good friend Joy Eileen, the host of Happy Endings podcast. I'm having her back on the show today, just to have a random chat like usual. I love talking to Joy. She's so much fun, and she's so funny and awesome to talk to. I finally got to meet her in person last month in September when I was in LA for 3 days for Son of Monster Palooza. I went by the Comedy Store, and I actually got to see her work, the main room. So I got to go there and got to talk to her for like a minute. Not too long because she had work to do, and it was great. She was very pretty in person, I have to say. And I was really grateful I got to do that. I'm always grateful to do amazing things now and stuff. And this podcast enables me to do stuff that I would never think I would be able to do at all. So, here is my new interview with Joy Eileen.
Hello.
What's up, Joy?
Hi.
How are you?
I am putting laundry away, so awful. How are you?
Pretty good. Why is that awful?
It is, honestly, laundry is the worst thing for me. Like, I don't mind doing it, but putting it away is the thing I hate the most, so I put it off, and then there's like 20 loads, and I'm like, well, fuck, I guess it's time.
Yeah.
So it's time.
Wow.
How are you?
Oh, I've been so overwhelmed this month with horror movie guests for Halloween October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year I had like 75 interviews the whole month, and I lost count of how many people was horror that month, but it was a lot of people. And this year I wanted to either top it or equal it, and I don't know if I've succeeded yet. I'll be counting on Halloween when I finish, So I've been very overwhelmed, but I've had some pretty amazing guests this year.
That's cool. Who have you had? Like, what's your top of this year?
You mean overall or just for October?
This year.
God, so many.
I mean, besides me, of course.
Well, you'd definitely be in there, but God, there's so many. I mean, Leanne would be in there.
Okay.
The drummer for the Blues Brothers, I enjoyed interviewing him. He had a really good philosophy on music. God, so many people, so many. Like you three would be in the top three.
I made you put me in it. I'm like, can be.
Well, you're definitely in there, but yeah. You have any Halloween plans this year?
I am going to be the mom that is screaming, "Did you say thank you?" and "Don't walk on the grass." So yeah, I've done it a couple of years in a row now, so that is me. And in fact, my husband will be out to sea, so I'm single mom this one, so it's not going to be fun. My kid's pissed. He's like, "Well, Dad's more fun." I'm like, "Yeah, I can drink when Dad's around, so yay." So I get to be sober, too.
Okay, so you don't get to dress up and you don't get to drink.
No.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's different when you have kids. Halloween changes.
I can imagine you dressing up as a witch.
I don't know if I've ever been a witch.
Really?
I've been Batman a lot. I have a lot of Batman tattoos, so I've been Batman a lot.
Wow. Yeah, let's see. God, I've been so many different things for Halloween in my life. I remember when I was 5 and 6, I was a pirate for like 2 years in a row. Different type of pirate, though. I was a clown one year. I was a ninja one year. I was a doctor one year. I was Jim Carrey in The Mask. I had this really cool mask of that mask. That was so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I went to my first ever school dance in it. I was 11 years old, and this girl that I danced with told me to take the mask off, and I did, and she fucking screamed.
Oh.
Yeah, I was I was pretty devastated. I didn't go back to a school dance until freshman year in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating. I was also the Jim Carrey Riddler the next year, and I was Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. And then a couple of years, I just wore the mask from Scream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I didn't dress up again for a long time. And then when I did, I was a hippie from the '70s one year, and then I was Paul McCartney during the Sgt. Pepper's era, and Angus Young from AC/DC one year.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've worn some pretty good costumes. I remember my first one that I can remember doing when I was 4 was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my gosh. Have you talked to Jeff Scott?
Oh my God.
Piano player?
No, but I interviewed the first piano player at the Comedy Store, Mike Becker.
Okay. Well, Jeff Scott, he came out here and he impersonated Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
And in fact, in the poster, the movie poster for Pee Wee Big Top Adventure, that's Jeff. And he has a scar on his hand, and they didn't take that out, so it's his scar. It's Jeff in that poster.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and then Big Top Pee Wee.
That's the one, and the Big Top Pee Wee's the one he's in the poster for.
Wow, that is crazy. I didn't know that.
He is amazing. I had him on my podcast, and I could have talked to him for hours. Like, he's someone you might want to get. He's a great interview.
Oh, I should then. Did you make him come?
No, unfortunately, he's gay. So.
Oh.
Darn
Nice.
it. All the good ones are.
Yeah, I saw. I like that status you posted on Twitter last night about how gay people and black people are the coolest.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that that troll that tried to get me?
No, what happened?
Well, I posted that, and it was a true conversation. I was massaging a patient, and I was like, and I was talking about how, like, my best life would be just having a bunch of gay best friends. And, I mean, that's just my best life. And I was like, I don't know, they're cooler than normal people. And I'm like, so are black people. Black people are cooler than normal people. And she's like, oh my God, everything you just said is true. I'm like, right?
Yeah.
And then so I posted that, and some guy's like, are you saying they're not regular people?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't. And in fact, I think I said something like, I know you feel brave behind your phone, naked, eating mac and cheese, but you're not going to win this with me, so I would just stop. And then he blocked me. So.
Yeah, because you're probably telling the truth there.
Right. And he's like, how did she know?
Oh, man. Yeah, these people on Twitter are just fucking weird and stuff. I had a lot of trolls on me last spring, I'll tell you, for different reasons and stuff. And the one that really got me, I had an email war with this sex doctor that I was trying to get on the podcast, and we had a disagreement over the word dyke. And she basically screenshot it and put it on Twitter. And next thing you know, all these LBG or LBT people were like trolling me for like a couple of days, and I had to block every single one of them.
That's awful. And it's funny though, because I don't know where I was, but Whitney Cummings was talking, and she's like, I don't understand why people pick fights with comedians. And I'm not saying that I'm on Whitney Cummings' level at all, because I am not.
Yeah.
But she's like, we know how to be mean. I was like, that's so true. Like, if you start something with me, I am going to be really mean. Like, I don't hold back punches, so I try not to be mean because I know I can destroy. So I'm like, I'll just be nice.
Oh my God. Yeah, just they should have, certain rules and regulations on Twitter, for people who do that stuff.
Right. But I mean, he blocked me and was like, "Yeah, I won. All right, bye."
Yeah. Yeah, somebody with like 7 followers.
Right.
I know, it's always those ones. And then, but I'll tell you this, I've been trolled by people I never even heard of who have like 100,000 followers.
So that's funny too.
Yeah. Another feud I had. I had a feud with this woman. She's like a horror critic, and I was trying to get her on the show, and she wasn't getting back to me and stuff. And I got smart ass with her, and then next thing you know, these other people in the horror community that I never even heard of, who have like 100,000 followers, are like trolling me and telling me my podcast sucks. That all I do is talk about dicks and tits and shit and all that stuff on my podcast. And I'm like, yeah, that's part of it. Okay, the nudity of naked girls in horror is like part of it and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And they're acting like they're offended, and they're not.
Right.
Yeah. I don't get those people. I really don't.
It's bad though, because there's times like I don't have time, but I would almost want like a troll account just to shut people down. Because like I'll read tweets and I'm like, nope, you can't say that, and I have to keep just scrolling. Like, you're nice, you're a nice person. The thing with Facebook, I would love to have a troll Facebook, but then I would never get anything done, and then there would be 40 piles of laundry instead of 20. So
yeah,
probably better.
Yeah. What are your main stages that you go on in LA to do stand-up?
Honestly, open mics right now. I've been open micing a lot. I did get to do the Belly Room, like 2-3 Tuesdays ago. Mm-hmm. And Brenton actually put me at Late Night Collage. So, like, I'm in the collage with, like, Bill Burr, Whitney Cummings, and Brendan Schaub. So that was really exciting for me. So hopefully they're going to start recognizing me a little bit more at the Comedy Store. Like, I don't mind putting in the work. And, in fact, I like putting in the work and growing. But it would be nice if I got a little bit more time. Let's see. I get to feature for Aiden Park in December here in Santa Clarita, so that'll be fun. So, I mean, it's slowly happening, but really it's just open mics right now, or any, like, show that'll book me.
Yeah, it's really tough out there, you know. I mean, I did it for 10 years in the Bay Area, and it was so damn political, I'll tell you. Oh, my God, it was bad.
Well, that, and there's so much talent. Like, I go to open mics, and some of these kids, and I mean, I'm old, too, so I'm taking a completely different approach. Like, these kids are living in their cars, and, you know, I have a job, and kids, and a husband, and another job, and another job. So, I mean, just seeing these kids hustle, it's kind of cool, but there's a lot of talent. Yeah,
but there's also a lot of untalent that bucks the system too.
Well, that's true, but that's going to be anywhere too. So
yeah, it happens anywhere. That is sure true. Yeah, and do you ever do Elizabeth Croydon's room?
No, but I know her. Yeah. Her night is kind of hard for me. Like I said, in this year, my husband's been out to sea a lot, so I've been single mom a lot. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I hate that, and everybody's like, that's just an excuse. And it might be, but it's also, you know, it takes me 40 minutes to drive to Hollywood, and if I don't have anyone home, So hopefully next year my husband won't be going out as much, and I can start hitting more. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. That's 2020's goal, is to start hitting more mics.
Yeah, that's my goal too, to get out there and make my dreams happen and stuff. Just
there you go.
After it was taken from me this year, after, you know, that person I was going to live with, you know, got in trouble, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do now for next year.
Right.
So much I want to do. But, yeah, I mean, I had a good time when I was in town for 3 days last month, and I saw you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, God, that weekend went by fast, but I did a lot. I'll tell you, especially that Saturday night, because we left halfway through the show, and then we went to a movie screening that Barbara Crampton was having down the street at the Arena Cine Lounge for this horror movie she has out called Reborn, which was really, really good. And then,
nice.
And then we just got donuts and went back to our hotel in Burbank and stuff. But that was great. That whole weekend, I had the best breakfast ever in the hotel. They had these sausages the size of dicks that were so good, and thick cut bacon that was just huge. I mean, this was not cheap. I mean, it was expensive, and it was like $25 for the whole buffet, which was worth it.
Right.
Yeah, it was really, really good and stuff. When I met you, though, I was very struck by how pretty you are in person.
Thank you. I don't do compliments well at all, so.
I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay.
I wish someone would tell me I was handsome.
Aw, you are.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that night, oh my God, just the energy in the main room was just electric.
Isn't it fun? I love that place so much.
Yeah, it was my first time in the main room because I always go into the OR, and Argus, oh my God, was on fire, and then he brought out Marin, and Marin didn't have any material; he was just riffing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, my favorite is when Argus gets on stage, and the audience almost writes him off immediately, like, "Oh, look at this like hokey old guy." And then you just watch him, and like every minute he's on stage, he just starts winning audience members. And by the end of the night, at the end of the set, he's got the whole audience on his side. Fucking love it. It's masterful how good he is.
Yeah, it's amazing because he's the only one left from the original class that's still there.
Yeah. I just massaged Lou Deck. Lou Deck was around at that time, too, and he was talking. He had a whole different perspective on the strike, so that was really interesting, too.
Yeah, he does. I haven't talked to him, but I know that he does. Is that episode out yet?
No, that's coming out in about 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be about 4 weeks.
Oh, cool. I got to listen to that one. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the guys there, they all have different perspectives on the strike.
Very much so. And it's very interesting because, none of them's wrong. It's just how they saw it. And it's very interesting to see, like, who protects Mitzi and who doesn't protect Mitzi and, like, who thought this should have happened. I don't know. There was a whole dynamic with it. The thing he said, too, though, is he's like, the crazy thing is whatever side you were on, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, it happened. It's over. I was like, damn, yeah. Like, it changed comedy. That whole thing changed the way everybody was paid and everybody was seeing it. I don't know. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I got to read that book. I haven't read the book yet.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It's a good book. In fact, he said almost all the pictures in the book I'm dying up here are Lou Deck's. From his personal photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I talked to Mike Becker, he had gotten there about 2 years after the strike, and he saw a lot of crazy stuff when he was there.
Oh, I bet. Oh, my God, those piano players?
Mm-hmm.
And was he playing the piano in the main room? Because I know Jeff Scott used to play in the main room until, like, some comedians tried to start playing off of him, and then Mitzi moved him to the original room. So
I believe he was in the main room and the original room, depending on what night. I can't remember what he told me. But he eventually became Mitzi's personal assistant for a long time.
Uh-huh. And Jeff was, like, her companion for a while, too, so it's very...
Oh, God, Mitzi...
He kept him close.
Mitzi was fucking everybody.
Yes, she was. She's kind of my hero.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike was there from 81 to 98. And
okay.
he got fired in a very abrupt way and stuff. He just got the call one day that he wasn't going to be working there anymore, and he just took it. You know, it was very, very random. It was very weird. He says there had been a misunderstanding before that led up to that, but he just accepted it and he left.
So yeah, he kind of was probably ready to move on.
Yeah. That was like the glory days of the place.
Yep.
And then it got really dark by like the late 90s. Late 90s.
I think it was Joe Rogan, I don't know, like 7-8 months ago. He walked in and he goes, you know how you can tell comedy is booming?
Huh.
I was like, huh. He's like, there's 3 Teslas and 2 Porsches in the parking lot. He's like, 15 years ago, it was a Ford Ranger with chickens in the back.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that would make sense.
And it is. It's crazy. Like, there's Teslas and Porsches and Ferraris, and it's crazy what is in the parking lot now, what those door guys get to park.
Yeah. Are any of the door guys doing comedy?
All the door guys actually do comedy. To become a door guy, you have to showcase with Adam, who's the booker. And if he likes you, then you can become a door guy. And then when you become a door guy, you get to do spots like Family and Friends, which is every Monday right after potluck. And then you get more development spots. And then there's people who are just straight development spots where when Adam gets the shows and the avails, he makes the shows, and then every show will get like 1 or 2 development spots. And either be a door guy or someone that he wants to develop. And then after that, if you develop and he likes the way you're developing, then you become a paid regular.
Yeah, I think I could get a doorman job either way because I'm such a big guy, even if he doesn't like my comedy.
I don't know. Door guy is a very coveted spot.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that now because I'm injured and stuff, but I'm just saying,
right.
Hypothetically, I mean, I was a bouncer at a bar, a very popular bar in San Mateo for 2.5 years, right when new ownership took over and the place completely changed. And one of my big regrets was not being at the Comedy Store during that time instead, because
right.
it would have been just so much better for me and stuff. But yeah, I can't be a doorman now because I would lose that fight.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I keep trying to let me do security. I'm like, come on, I'm strong. And they're like, no, you would hurt somebody on purpose. I'm like, well, that's true, but it'll be fun.
They actually say that you would hurt somebody on purpose?
Yeah. The security guards think I'm crazy because anytime they come into the kitchen, I'm like, hey, do you need help? And they're like, we know. And I'm like, I'm strong. They're like, it's okay. I'm like, I just want to kill one person. Come on. They're like, Joy, you're insane. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Did you ever ask your son if he's finger banged?
No. It's 13. Well, the 19-year-old, he's having sex, so no. My 13, no. And then the 8-year-old, he's still innocent. The 8-year-old, I'm going to make him start smoking cigarettes just to sense his growth. I need him to stop growing.
Have you at least found semen stains in his bed?
No, not yet. My 13-year-old, I don't think he's hit puberty just yet. He's a late bloomer. Mm-hmm. So I'm lucky on that one. In fact, I'm almost sure the 8-year-old's going to go through puberty before the 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. The 8-year-old has the stinkiest armpits in the world right now. I'm like, dude, you're a baby. So it's weird, like, which ones plateau at certain things. So, no, not yet. Thankfully.
I never had to hide any of that from my mom and stuff. She knew, like, right when the time was right that I was going to be going through all that stuff.
Yeah, I think, well, that's the thing, too, is once they start going through puberty, I stop doing their laundry. Like, that's when I'm like, no more. I did that with the oldest, and then I'm going to do that with the other two. I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm done. It's yours now.
I had my first Playboy subscription when I was 12.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know, Steve. I think I told you that my 13-year-old is very innocent in a way. Like and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it because I actually love it.
Yeah.
He's a nerd. So he plays like Dungeons and Dragons, and he plays Magic at the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Like him and his friends made their costumes out of cardboard for Halloween. So he's very innocent, which is weird being my kid because the 8-year-old is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Tells his teachers that the dad's my husband's not really his dad. That was fun. But so I don't know. I think I've got a couple more years before he starts looking at things. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm just going to say that because that's how I want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was very advanced. I had this one guest. She did something so sexy in a movie one time, and I told her that it was one of my first hard-ons when I was 5, and she laughed, and she was like, "Wow, you were advanced."
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know at the time what I was feeling, though, but it felt good, you know? I didn't know what I was feeling and stuff. Yeah, it's like that routine that Andrew Dice Clay does about getting the hard-on in class, you know? I mean, I got many of those in elementary school, but I didn't know what the hell they were.
Right.
I just thought that it was kind of painful and kind of annoying.
Right.
But they
still are.
But it felt good. Yeah, but at least now, you know, I can do something about it and stuff.
That's true.
You know, but at the time, no, I had no idea. Oh my God, there was so many girls in my first grade class that I liked, and they were just so mean to me. You know, they gave me Valentine's just because they had to.
Right. Aww.
Yeah. I'll never forget the time that we were all gathered around in class for story time in first grade, and I had this fart that lasted about 10 seconds that made everyone clear the room.
Oh my goodness.
And I got in trouble, I'll tell you. It was so damn funny. Like I'm surprised that no one has brought it up to me all these years later. That was like something you never forget.
Right?
Yeah. Do you have any good fart stories?
No, I don't. No.
The other day I interviewed this actress that I watched in a couple movies, and she told me she actually loves the smell of her own farts.
What?
Yeah.
Some people do. You know what? I will say though, I mean, it's not my fart, but when we had my middle son, you're exhausted. Like, and I had a C-section, and I had to be in the hospital for a week, and I was just fucking done with life. And I actually went into shock, and they had to knock me out. So it was just a whole thing. And I was so tired, and I was in bed, and my husband farted. And I swear to God, he asked me a question. And I was like, what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And he laughed for like an hour. And I'm like, I have no idea what's so funny. And he was like, dude, you just answered a fart. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, can I go back to bed then?
That's a good fart story.
But I was like, I swear, he asked me something. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Oh, my God, that's hilarious. Oh, my God, I just found out on Facebook Robert Evans died.
Who's Robert Evans?
He was one of the heads of Paramount Pictures back in the day, and he produced so many classic movies. Rosemary's Baby, Chinatown, The Godfather, so many great movies. And he made a documentary in 2002 about his life that he narrated called The Kid Stays in the Picture, which I watched. And Patton Oswalt did a comedy routine about it that was hilarious. because he's narrating the story, and you're seeing all these like really weird animated images of what he's talking about, and he's saying it with such a self-loathing sensibility and stuff. You actually feel bad for the guy because he fucked up his whole career with drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, he lived the Hollywood excess life, and he had all these great films under his belt, and then next thing you know, he fucked his whole career up, and then Michael Eisner and Jeff Katzenberg had to take over Paramount.
Huh. I did not. You're a huge movie buff, aren't you?
I am a huge movie buff, yeah.
Huh. I knew, like, from obviously your podcast and everything, but I just didn't realize, like, how much you knew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, before the internet, all I had was books and A&E biography. But since the internet has come, I mean, there's a lot of quote-unquote misinformation about stuff on Wikipedia and IMDb and what have you. But
right.
It's actually taken the sting out of relying on books and A&E biographies. Especially since I don't have time to stay home and watch all these A&E biographies like I used to and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm a reservoir of information about movies. It's like the one true thing. It's the one true thing that makes me happy in life.
Okay. Well, that's cool that you found it. I'm still looking for the one true thing that makes me happy in life.
Well, I mean, if you like raising your kids, that must make you happy.
Sure. No, I'm kidding. No, it's fun, but it's also, it's very hard to have a dream and have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mom guilt is like, the mom guilt's hard. And my kids don't make it easy, which is why you're probably the only one that will say this. I cannot stand The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I tried watching it and ended up going and doing an open mic and ranting about it. Sorry, I'm trying to get over a sinus infection.
Yeah.
And it just makes me mad because, like, she's a comedian, which is cool, and she's female, which is cooler, and she has kids, which is meh. But at no point does she ever, like, mention the kids. At no point does she ever feel guilty leaving the kids, and that doesn't make sense to me. And she's Jewish.
Yeah.
What Jewish mom do you know not up her, like, kid's ass? That's what Jewish moms do. So, to me, it's very hard for me to watch, because I'm like, that's not how it is. Mm-hmm. It's, hey guys, I'll buy you ice cream if you let me go out and do open mics tonight, or hey guys, like, I'll take you blah 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 if you so yeah, I have a whole thing about The Marvelous Miss Maisel, so it's just hard balancing everything.
Have you ever seen This Is Your Life?
With, hold on, Meryl Streep?
No,
what's that one? Oh, that's the Defend Your Life. This Is Your Life. What's that one about?
Okay, Julie Kavner, who does the voice of Marge Simpson, she is a single Jewish New York housewife mother. She's single, and she's got a couple daughters, Samantha Mathis, Gabby Hoffman. I think there's a third. Maybe there's not. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I know there's the two of them. And she starts getting them babysitters and going out and performing comedy in the comedy clubs. And then she gets on TV, and then next thing you know, she's touring around the world doing stand-up, and it's seriously affecting her kids. Like, seriously affecting them. I had Samantha on the podcast last year, and she told me, yeah, that's one of her favorites that she's done. She said it's a very underrated movie about the pressures of, balancing between professional career and having a domestic life too and stuff. And Yeah, Nora Ephron, who did When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, she wrote and directed the movie, and it's not like a I would say an accurate description of stand-up comedy, which what movies are, but
Right.
it's a really good story about balancing between domestication and professional life.
Huh, what is it called?
This Is Your Life.
This Is Your Life. Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
And Dan Aykroyd's in it. He plays. He becomes her manager, and then he becomes her love interest near the end.
Okay.
Yeah, it was made in the early '90s. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. So, did you get my? Hey, oh my God! So I gotta tell you the story, the sex story from like 10 years ago. That it's been on my mind a lot lately. I haven't thought about it in a while because I think about how wild I was when I was in my 20s. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna masturbate when I tell you this story.
All right.
When I was 26, I was on this dating site called Date Hookup. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
DateHookup.com. Yeah, it's for anybody who's looking for a date and a hookup. And I was on it a lot when I was 26, and I met this woman. Oh my fucking God. She was 38 at the time. She was a heavy-set woman with curly, reddish hair, and oh my God, these beautiful, penetrating blue eyes. And oh my God, I remember she picked me up, and she took her sunglasses off, and I just immediately got hard looking at her eyes.
Okay, so you wanted to penetrate her eyes?
Yeah. Blue eyes turn me on, except for when they're my father's. My father has blue eyes. But on a woman, I love them. And
When you see your father's, you come right away.
No. So then we went and had, I remember we had like coffee and a bagel. And then we went and got pedicures. And after that, um, we didn't have like all day to do stuff, so we had to cut it short. So she dropped me off at the train station. She lived all the way in San Jose, and I lived in San Carlos at the time. And while we were in the car, we were like making out before because I had like a half hour to catch my train, so we just like made out in the car and stuff like that. And then she gave me a really good hand job.
In the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she asked me if the next weekend that I'd like to have sex with her and with her husband watching. And I did not know she had a husband. She like kind of tricked me. And I said, sure. And so the next week, I got to go have sex with her while her husband watched. And it was amazing and stuff. And after we were done, her husband asked me if I would glory hole him, and I did. And I never saw them again after that. And that's the story.
I'm sorry. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said that was the end of the story.
Oh, it's the sinus medication. Don't take it personally. It makes me drowsy. I try.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was like a bedtime story.
Yeah. So you getting a lot of subscribers on your podcast?
I'm getting there. They fluctuate. I'm getting a lot of views though. Like it's going. I wish it'd go more, but I mean I get it. It's just past a year old, so it's still a baby podcast. But I mean, we're doing a lot of changes on it. Like I get to do it now at the Comedy Store in the basement, which is the coolest thing ever. And I get to use their equipment, and they set it up, so I don't have to do anything but massage and interview. So that's really nice. So it's getting there. You know, I wish it just, I don't know, like, social media is so different. Like, I worked really hard to get my Twitter presence up, and I've got, like over 48,000 followers on Twitter. And then as soon as, like, my Twitter got popping, then everybody's like, oh, now it's Instagram. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So, and I swear, as soon as I get my Instagram going, it's going to be something else. So it's just trying to find what's working right now and trying to get it up. I mean, I do have a lot of loyal listeners, which is fun. So, yeah, I mean, it's slowly getting there. It's a journey, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I woke up today, I got 210 subscribers on YouTube, and I had, like, maybe 204 last week.
Right.
Yeah. It's fucking extraordinary.
It's fun, and I mean, I really like, what I'm trying to do now is, because I can monetize, but to get the first tier of YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 listens. And I've already surpassed the 10,000 listens. So now I just need the 1,000 subscribers, and then I can actually start monetizing it. So that's my goal right now, is to get 1,000 subscribers.
I don't have a goal. I don't have a goal in terms of subscribers. I just take whatever comes to me, whoever likes me, whoever doesn't like me, you know, whatever.
Right.
You know, but I'm getting a lot of subscribers. I get subscribers like every day or every other day, and it's just amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because when I started, I only had 10.
Right.
Yeah. I had 10. Actually, maybe I may have had 4 or 5, and then ultimately it became 10 for a while, and then as time went on, and I made more and more episodes, I got more and more subscribers that way. You know? So how long have you been a Batman fan?
Well, I always love Michael Keaton's my Batman. I mean, Adam West, yes, but Michael Keaton's my Batman, and Jack Nicholson is my Joker. So when I was like 19, I was dating a strip club DJ who also moonlighted as a piercer, and he was piercing someone. He also was cheating on me, so I don't know what he was piercing them with, but I was waiting for him at the tattoo shop, and a guy came in, and he was like, I'm bored, I want to tattoo someone. And little 19-year-old me was like, you can tattoo me. And he's like, okay, but it can't be something stupid. It can't be something off the wall. Like, it has to be who you are. Like, who are you, Joy? And I was like, I'm Batman. And that is how I got the Batman tramp stamp, which is conveniently located above the Batcave. And I kind of had to go with it. So I've kind of, I don't know, like, I've liked Batman before Batman became popular. So, yeah, that's my Batman story.
I was watching Batman as early as age 4, the TV show with Adam West, and I loved it, still do. And then when it came out in the summer of '89, I was going to summer school at the time, and I was wearing everything Batman during that period. And I still got pictures of me at Disneyland wearing all the Batman stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't really like any of the Christian Bale ones. It was too dark. Like, I like the cheesy Batman. The cheesy Batman was always my favorite. Like, you know, the Adam West, the boom, bam. Like, I loved that. So Christian Bale to me was just too intense. It wasn't cheesy enough. It wasn't it didn't have, like, a playful side of it. For me. I mean, I know some people are like, yeah, but that's how The Dark Knight was, and that's cool, but that's not what I like. So, and then I haven't seen The Joker yet either, because, I don't know. I also don't really, I couldn't even tell you the last movie I watched.
Yeah, I got into The Dark Knight a little bit because of Heath Ledger's performance, you know, but I haven't seen this Joker that came out. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. As you know, I don't get offended by anything, but I was actually emotionally offended when I found out about this movie. because to me it represents how greedy and unoriginal Hollywood has gotten, because they took a popular villain and made him a sympathetic character as a lead in a movie. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just emotionally offended by that. You know, I mean, what's next? They're going to make a movie about the Wicked Witch of the West?
Well, they kind of did in Wicked. They explained, like, why the Wicked Witch became the Wicked Witch.
Okay, I stand corrected on that. How about a movie about...
Sorry, I was
how about Brutus from Julius Caesar? Or...
Well, there you go.
Yeah, or just, you know, any popular villain, you know. It just shows me just how unoriginal Hollywood has gotten, you know.
Well, I was just talking to a patient the other day because he went to a Halloween party, and I'm like, oh, what were you? And he was like, I was Point Break.
Yeah.
You know, the movie Point Break. And I go, did you ever realize that Point Break and Fast and the Furious are the same movie? Just one has surfboards, one has cars. A cop infiltrates a gang, decides he likes the gang better, and basically becomes part of the gang. That's Point Break, and that's Fast and the Furious. So I was like, and he's like, no shit. And I'm all, okay. And I'm all, what about Doc Hollywood? The Michael J.
Fox.
The Michael Fox movie. That is Cars.
Yeah.
Guy goes in, runs a fence over, has to fix it, becomes the doctor, becomes the guy who fixes it. I was like, they're just recycling plot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it bugs me because I, as an author, I'd like to feel that my books are original. And I'm like, well, why can't we make these? These are fun. These aren't the remake of something else.
Yeah. I actually have an actress from Doc Hollywood coming on soon. I hope. I'm waiting for her to hear back. I had to wait until her theater season was over.
Okay.
Yeah. KT Vogt. She's the heavy-set girl that's in the movie. And she was also in Revenge of the Nerds 3.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a theater actress up in Oregon now and stuff. And...
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I'm very supportive of actors. You know, I like all actors, whether they're successful or not and stuff. And I like to talk to them about, you know, about acting, you know.
Right.
Because, you know, they're the director's puppet, you know. As I don't know if that term would be derogatory to them, but that's pretty much, you know, what they are. They say the words on the page and they deliver.
Right.
You know, that would be a good way to put it. But yeah, oh my God, are you into Supergirl at all?
No.
Yeah, it's funny. I love the 1984 Supergirl movie, but everyone talks about how sexist it is because her and the villainous Selena, they fight over a guy, you know. And it's like, yeah, what else are they gonna do?
Right.
Especially, you know, yeah, by 1984 standards, I mean, they were not going to have Supergirl battle a guy. That just wasn't going to happen. Now, of course, on the series that they have now, that would happen. But in 1984, that just wasn't possible.
Right.
But I was thinking about the possibility of, you know, what if Supergirl had a vibrator, and what if she turned it on and it would be like turning on a pile driver?
There are some of those. If you ever look at the sex stores, they've got some that are, very, very strong.
Yeah, but for Supergirl, you know, it's Supergirl, and you know, she could have a G-spot orgasm from here to Metropolis, and if she's a squirter, we're all fucked because it doesn't rain in the summertime.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Now, is Supergirl an alien like Superman is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget the origin of the planet that she's on, you know, because she's Superman's cousin. but her name on the planet that she's from, her name's Kara, and in the movie she gets on Earth because of this glowing spear called the Omega Hedron, which basically looks like something you would buy in a toy store.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I used to do, like, when I first started comedy, like, I used to do a bit about, like, how Batman was the real superhero and how Superman is just an illegal alien stealing a journalist's job. I was like, I bet he doesn't even have a green card. Like, poor kid just got out of college, and he's, trying to get on the newspaper, and some illegal alien took his job.
Mm-hmm.
He was first starting, so.
Illegal alien.
He is.
I do a whole routine about comic book characters and stuff, and about the flaws and all the crazy shit and stuff. I talk about that guy who shot up a theater because Batman was playing, in Colorado.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the guy's name was James Holmes. I wonder if he's related to John Holmes, because that would explain why he likes to shoot. I talk about, Spider-Man. He has a girlfriend named Mary Jane. Yeah, you would have to have a name like that not to recognize your boyfriend's voice under that mask, you fucking twat. And I say that, if I could be any superhero, I'd like to be Darkwing Duck.
There you go.
Yeah, to me, he was the coolest. And they should have went further with him. They should have made a Darkwing Duck movie. And it's still not too late. They still could, if they really look at the numbers of the audience that Darkwing Duck has.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know if that'll ever happen and stuff. But I'd like to be Darkwing Tom. I'd wear like a pimp hat and I'd go around saving hoes. Darkwing Tom, let's get naked. Saturday morning cartoons in Tommy's world.
There you go.
Oh my God! So if you could be any superhero, would it be Batgirl?
It would be Batman. I'd want the penis as well. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. I don't know how my husband would feel about it, but I'm sure he'd get used to it. He likes me. He's stuck with me.
Yeah. Well, he is a very lucky guy.
He is. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, though, I got lucky with him, because if it wasn't for him helping with the kids and, like, supporting, like, his dream is that I make it and then he can just be a stay-at-home dad. So he's very supportive of me, like, with the books and with, the stand-up and the podcast. So probably one of them will pop.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a plan of getting out of the military eventually?
Well, he's not in the military. He actually is a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
So he works for the government. So, like, when I say, like, he's out to sea, he only goes out for, like, 3 or 5 days. So I try not to, like, act like it's too big of a deal, but I'm very codependent. And so when he leaves, I'm like, oh, my God, the life is over. So, yeah, those 3 or 4 days, I mean, I know that, like, military wives are, gone for years, but, so I try not to, like, whine too much, because I get that they go through way more than I do, but, yeah, I don't know what his plans are. Like, we're just trying to live right now.
Everyone's, trying to live, trying to survive. I remember 8 or 9 years ago, I was with some people I was hanging out with, and we were talking about how you ever get the feeling that there's people out there that are just settling. They're not, going after their dreams. They're just settling because they think that they'll never accomplish their dreams or do better.
Oh yes, very much so, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did that for a long time until I was like, you know what? Because it started with the books. And actually, he was gone for 8 months in Portland, Oregon. They took the ship that he works on and put it on dry dock. And so I was home with these kids, so I wrote my first book while he was gone. And then the whole publishing thing came, and it was weird. But then after that, like, he was gone for so long, so we tried to catch up, and we'd have date night, and we'd always go to the Comedy Store. And then one night, Steve Simone was on stage, and there was this drunk girl. And she was heckling him, and he was losing his cool, which I don't know if you know who Steve Simone is, the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And we were watching it, and I mean, we've seen him like hundreds of times, and we're watching him lose his cool, and we're like, holy shit, like, this chick is really getting onto him. So at one point she stops, and she's like, I have a joke that you can tell. And he got mad, and he left. And then he came back, and he was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you. And he gave her a hug. And then he gets on stage, and he's like, some of you right now are probably thinking, I could totally do stand-up comedy. And John looked at me, and he goes, nope. And I go, yep. That's when I was like, I want to do that. So it was seeing somebody lose their cool on stage that I was like, that is what I want to do. And that's when I started doing stand-up.
Yeah, I know who Steve Simone is. I saw him on Joey Diaz's podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about he's doing a crowdfunding for some homeless girl or something.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, I went on.
Yeah.
I went on there, and it's legit. Yeah, as soon as I get some money, I'm going to donate.
He's a super nice guy, and he helps. He got a oven and a stove for someone. He does his charity work, and he's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he used to be the manager of that place?
I don't know.
I know he used
to. I don't know.
I know he used to work there, like being doorman or something. And stuff. But I think he was like briefly a manager there or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he was there. He's been there for a long time now, like almost 20 years. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys like Bobby Lee and stuff who need to be more successful than they are.
Like Rick Ingram, he's my favorite.
Yeah. God, he was so good that night when I saw him last month.
You should have seen him, oh my God, Saturday. There was a band in the audience, but they were all dressed up, so he thought that they were dressed up in costume, and they were trying to get attention. So he ignored them for most of the set. Sorry. And he ignored them most of the set, and then finally he's like, are these costumes, or are these really you? And they're like, no, this is really us. He guessed every instrument the band played. It was the funniest thing. John and I were dying laughing. Oh my God, it was so perfect. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
God, he's good. He's such a bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another one who needs to be bigger than he is.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time. I do know he's going to be on this Comedy Central special along with Eleanor that Bill Burr's hosting.
Yep. And Britt and Bill come in doing it too. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think it's going to be out probably by like December or something like that.
And I think Ian Edwards was the first one they posted in that.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian Edwards is who I want to narrate my life because he has the greatest voice.
Oh, yeah.
My God, I can't breathe. This is awful. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm all snippy.
That's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to finish. I remember last time we were talking, you were telling me about how much you're grossed out by belly buttons.
Oh, God, yes, you.
Yeah. It's like...
It's so gross. Like, my kids know, like, there's certain rules. One is they can't touch their belly buttons. Mm-hmm. Two, they can't talk baby talk. They can't chew with their mouth open, and they can't drag their feet. Those are the things I will yell at them constantly over. I'm like, no!
Yeah.
They're gross. Belly buttons are gross.
Like, what's your favorite part on a guy?
one of my really good friends, Cassandra Cass, she has a fantastic ass, and every time I see her, I have to touch it. It's so perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a butt girl. What about you?
I love belly buttons and feet.
Oh, you're so gross. Belly buttons and feet. Oh my God,
you're not the first person who's told me that. There's a lot of people since maybe middle school who's told me that's gross. But like I'm very selective with it though. I mean, there's some ugly feet and ugly belly buttons out there.
There's a lot. The belly buttons are all ugly, but there are some gnarly feet out there.
Oh God, yeah. And I go on that website wikifeet.com, with like the celebrities' feet and stuff. And there's some celebrities out there who just are absolutely mortified that their feet are on there.
I would be too. Oh my God, I've never even heard of that.
Oh yeah, I mean I
feel so sheltered.
Yeah. Oh, I feel really bad for them too that their feet ends up on there too. I think that's just really kind of douchebaggy to like do something like that without the person knowing.
Right.
You know. I
completely agree.
I think it's terrible. So I got some really funny jokes for you.
All right.
Everybody remembers the old nursery rhyme. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids she didn't know what to do. What did her right leg say to her left leg?
What?
Nothing. They never met. You know the difference between a dick and a Rubik's Cube?
A Rubik's Cube I can't figure out.
The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I love that joke.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a guest told me that a couple of weeks ago and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm taking that joke from you. It was so funny and stuff. Oh my God, I see all these horror T-shirts on this Facebook page. Oh my God, I want to see if they have any of my size and stuff. Even though my weight's going to be going down soon because I need to go on a diet.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I really need it though because I have a stent in my heart, and after my accident, the doctor said that depression was going to set in, and he was right, and so that's why I gained all this weight. So I gotta shed this weight, otherwise I'll have another heart attack. Yes, I did it back in 2006, and I can do it again.
Yep, when my youngest was born, I lost 70 pounds, but then I found it, so there was that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will lose this weight, and I will be sexier than ever.
There you go. And then everybody will call you handsome. It'll be like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, when I was in LA last month and I saw Barbara Crampton at that premiere, she told me that I looked really good, that I had lost some weight. And I did lose some weight, but I need to lose a lot more.
Right.
I need to lose at least 100 more. And I remember after I lost the weight in 2006, I maintained low weight for about 5 years until I started drinking. And then that's when I started gaining weight again. And then when I woke up from my coma, I had went from 350 to 190.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I can do it.
Well, see, they have that R. Kelly documentary, and I didn't watch it, but somebody was telling me about it, and they said that like he would lock girls in a room, and he'd only feed them like once a day, and I was like, dude, I want to go on the R. Kelly diet. I want somebody to lock me in a room and feed me once a day.
That's so creepy.
Like, that'd be amazing.
That's so creepy, though.
It is, and I'm like, well, you can pee on me. If I'm going to lose weight and you just, like, only feed me once a day, like, you can pee on me. I'm okay with that. Like, just let me lose in a couple months and I'll be looking good. And who knows, like, I think pee's good for your skin. So, like, it's a win-win,
That reminds me.
You gotta think of the positives.
That reminds me of something Brian Holtzman would say.
Fucking love Brian.
Yeah, very funny guy. So, Joy, I thank you so much for coming back on today.
Of course. I'm sorry it was all snippy.
It's okay.
Gross.
From what I remember, I think you were overcoming a cold last time, too.
Probably. I do too much. I don't rest enough. What can you do?
Yeah, what can you do and stuff. But I'm glad we got to talk again and stuff, and we'll talk again soon. And I'm glad your podcast is kicking ass out there.
Thank you.
Yes, it will continue to do so, too.
Thank you. And you take care.
Okay, you too. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Joy Eileen. Ain't she a sweetheart? Yes, she is. And I'm so glad that we could have this conversation again, because Joy is fucking awesome. And glad I got a happy ending. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.